at Bentley University. We want to have deeper connections amongst our students, and that all starts on day one of college. 4 years ago, we embarked on a strategic plan in Student Affairs, our division, to develop meaningful, diverse interactions amongst our students, but also our faculty and staff, and really the community in general. And that's why we've brought in Dear World to help us with those first couple of days.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope that you had a good first night here. We will be participating in a program called Dear World. I would now like to introduce Jonah and Katie.
Hello, Bentley. My name is Jonah.
And I'm Katie.
And we take people's portraits. But as you just saw in the video, it's a little bit different because we ask you to write that on your skin.
Its genius is almost in its simplicity of getting down to the bare, just human to human level of just sharing who you are. And you get to pick what you want to share, which is why I think it is actually a great component for an orientation.
Today gets to be about the stories of what brought you to this moment. What we found is that everybody has a struggle, everybody has a story to get here to this day.
You are 1 in 7 billion. You have been through your own unique journey and your own unique experiences. And that's what this process is about, is sharing your story. So your homework and your challenge is to think about, who are you? And what are these big moments that you've been through? First things first, let's focus around the face. It doesn't mean you have to use your hands. You can use your skin, you can use your collarbone, you can use your shoulder, but really around the eyes. That's where the story comes out. So as much as we can, focus in this area of your body.
One rule is you have to share your story with somebody. You can't write it on yourself. So I'm gonna pass out some markers. Spell check, because there's no autocorrect on your arms.
W-I-M-M-I-N. Find the middle letter and put it in the middle and then go from there. Okay, so M. I just have an M on the middle of my forehead now.
I think the whole goal of these few days of orientation is to say, what are the connections we can catalyze for you right away? Who are the people we can have you meet and understand are going through the same experience that you are?
It's harder on this campus to come here and to embrace this idea of vulnerability when you start, because the people in your class are competing for the same internships you are. They're competing inevitably for the same jobs you are.
And I think the more that they can meet these other people in the same boat as them, the more likely they are to have the understanding of you are struggling with the same thing I am, and that is going to make this easier somehow.
I've always been surprised by how much students have opened up, particularly our students, which are not accustomed to being vulnerable.
What I also think is amazing is that you can empower them with their own story.
They were not even here 24 hours ago. And they come up instantly are willing to share something that has changed their lives. I just kept saying to people, thank you for sharing. What you just did is so empowering and it's so awesome.
When I was 9 or 10 years old, my father evicted my mom, my sister, and I from our home and onto the street. Started walking out, and I remember this is the moment when my mom became my idol and my hero. I asked her, I was crying as I knew that we didn't have anywhere to go. I asked her, Mom, where are we gonna go? She told me, just follow me, son, everything's gonna be okay. And I remember seeing my mom crying with her head up high, walking out of that door. 3 months after my dad had kicked us out of our own home, he gave me a call and he told me, a boy who does not grow up with a father will never become a man and will never become successful. And boy, I wish you could see me right now at my dream school.
Dear World gives them an invitation to ask them about their stories. It's giving everyone around them the opportunity to say, tell me about that.
The message on someone's skin, right? You don't always know what it means, but when you see it, you get to ask that person. So you'll have that opportunity to say, hey, I saw what you wrote. What's that about?
It will pay dividends when we are bringing them to their final sort of concluding year at Bentley, and they're walking across the stage looking out at a crowd of people that they've learned to love. We're hoping that when they graduate, they can have a fulfilling career and, more importantly, a fulfilling life.
1, 2, 3. Dear World!